Good Monday evening, Southeast Texas. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to 12 News Plus. We're going to take the next 15 minutes and dive deeply into your forecast for the next 7 days. Again, taking a look at why we've been so warm, why we've been so dry. It's because of La Nina, and La Nina is temperatures in the eastern Pacific off the coast of Mexico and Central America are running colder than normal. This disrupts the normal atmospheric circulation, meaning the jet streams, pushes them far off to the north, both the cold polar one and the moist subtropical jet stream, generally north of California. So that strips away a lot of the moisture out of the Pacific cold fronts coming our way and usually wrings it out over towards the British Columbia and Alberta regions of Canada. It also means that most of the cold, generally speaking, most of the cold Arctic air stays off to the north and east. Now, this does not mean we won't see periods of cold weather, and this does not mean we won't see periods of heavy rainfall. But over the average of December, January, and February, we'll likely see above normal temperatures and below normal rainfall. That's why we've seen what we've seen, because of La Nina. And again, just because you have warmer than normal, an average over 3 months, does not mean you won't see cold Arctic outbreaks. And it does not mean we won't see periods of heavy rainfall. Generally speaking, though, we can expect the average to be warmer and drier than normal. So here's today, 17th of November, in review, and we started off with fog. It was relatively foggy here in Beaumont around 3 this morning, and this afternoon we went to partly cloudy skies and then on into mostly clear skies. So we'll see that again tomorrow, kind of a repeat performance. And as we head towards Wednesday morning, I think the fog could be quite dense across southeast Texas as the winds begin to lay. Otherwise, looking at fair skies here in Beaumont, this view courtesy of Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Sky Cam Network. Well, the allergy report a little better, still looking at ragweed at moderate levels across southeast Texas, but again, we've got grass and mold also at moderate levels on your southeast Texas allergy report. So here's the plan over the next 7 days. We're going to see a couple of nights of foggy weather, very mild temperatures. I think Wednesday morning is going to be the foggiest morning, though. And morning lows could be about 15 degrees above normal, in the mid to upper 60s to around 70, and highs could be about 10 degrees above normal. That's roughly around, the low to mid 80s. Normally we should see about 71, 72 this year. So about 10 to 15 degrees above normal. And again, we're looking at a slight chance of showers coming in on Thursday, but Friday will probably be our best chance of shower and thunderstorm activity. We're going to go with a 30% coverage here in the Triangle. It could be as much as a 40 to 50% coverage in the Lakes area, but before you get that look in your eyes, this probably will not be a drought buster. It means that we will see some needed rainfall, but I don't think we're going to get enough of what we need. Otherwise, after that cold front comes through, it's not a terribly cold or strong cold front. After the front comes through, as we work on into early Saturday morning, we'll see a gorgeous weekend. It'll be a dry weekend, lower humidity, be able to turn off the air conditioner. Lows will be in the 50s and highs in the 70s, again with ample sunshine until our next storm system begins to encroach across the region as we head towards Monday, a week out. So I'll show you that in just a minute. So again, looking at some of these values, yeah, it looks patchy. When you get down to some patches of dense fog across the area, particularly in outlying areas, so be cautious on your way to work and school tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we'll peel away those clouds and we should see partly cloudy skies tomorrow afternoon and warm up maybe in the mid 80s coming up. The record is 87, so not far away, but as you can see, well above normal coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Cold front comes through and that knocks us back down into the 70s Saturday and Sunday into Monday. And those lows will be in the 50s, so we're going to be closer to normal. By that time, we should be around 71, so still technically above normal as far as afternoon highs. So we'll go with 84 coming up tomorrow with skies becoming partly cloudy. I'm not going with any rainfall despite modeling as it's usually trying to generate rain in the morning. That's just not going to happen. Otherwise, up in the lakes area, I also think we'll get into the 80s, the mid 80s, with partly cloudy skies. You'll see more of a south to southwest wind. And again, no rain is expected tomorrow. Otherwise, as far as rainfall, I'm showing the European. Yesterday, this thing had 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. You cannot use a single run model to forecast weather. That's why they have so much flip-flopping. We try to avoid that. We use ensemble modeling. Most of the ensemble modeling showing about a half an inch, maybe upwards of an inch of rainfall. So I think this is a little too low now. It may be right, and that's the problem with deterministic or single run models. You never know if they're wrong or they're right. That's why you use ensemble modeling, because it shows a range of low amounts of rainfall and a range up to 50 runs, a range up to the top of what it thinks is going to happen, or at least possible of happening. So there could be some outliers of maybe over an inch in spots through Friday night, but I think that would be kind of a stretch right now. Regardless, this is at least some better news for Thursday and Friday. So that means tomorrow, with the flow right off the Gulf and high amounts of moisture, even though the fuels, the grasses, and also the brush are dry, because of the humidity, it looks like a low wildfire threat for tomorrow, as we're some 9 inches below normal since the beginning of September. No changes on burn ban still, Jasper and Newton counties and Liberty County. Otherwise, as I said, most of the area, some exceptions, but most of the area is under a moderate drought. Severe drought conditions continue over western Hardin County. That means Saratoga, Sour Lake, back over towards Thicket, Votah, to the west of Kuntz, back over to Liberty County, and also into Chambers County. As you can see, just since September 1st, we're 9 inches below normal. For the year, we're at 11.5. So again, it's just been a rapid onset as far as this drought over the last 2 or so months. So right now, taking a look at the Pro Roofing Concepts satellite and radar loop, looking at temperatures in the 70s, looking at fair to maybe partly cloudy skies into southern Tyler County and also Hardin County. Things are quiet, and it's just going to be a humid night as fog begins to develop. We have southeasterly flow off the Gulf. Dew points are into the mid 60s. So once your temperature begins to approach that 68 degrees up into Jasper, once your temperature falls to around 68 and it equals that dew point of 68, that means the humidity is 100%. So as those temperatures go down, you get closer to the dew point, and that means your humidity goes up, and then you could see the potential for patchy, dense fog to develop coming up tomorrow morning. Otherwise, right now, it is extremely impressive that we're seeing, it's not record-breaking, but it's just impressive to see temperatures well into the 80s as we head into mid-November. It was closer to 90 down over to southwest Texas. That's not too abnormal, but again, not much winter on the map this evening across the state. Now, this front is going to run out of steam and stall because its driver, if you will, is moving away in the upper levels. We have a southeast flow, fair skies over much of the state, so we're at the surface here. This is the ground level. Now, as we go up into the atmosphere, which we just did at 18,000 feet, this is the driver that moves front. So again, the front is over northwest Texas ahead of that upper level disturbance. This is moving away off to the north and east. That's why the upper level pattern is very important to what happens on the ground. This disturbance moves away and we lose the front and it stalls. Now, as we head towards Thursday, we start to see a disturbance moving our way, but it's running into a ridge of high pressure. So it's going to weaken. Rain chances will be best in through central Texas and maybe over to Houston, but as this runs off to the east, it begins moving into the ridge, which is over Louisiana, and will likely weaken. So we'll keep a slight chance of showers on Thursday, maybe a 30 to 40% coverage, particularly over towards maybe western Tyler and also Chambers County. Look at the ridge of high pressure as we head on into the weekend. That means gorgeous weather after that front moves in. It also means low humidity and lots of sunshine. Then, as we saw with the last system yesterday, guess what? We think that this is well too far to the south. I bet you in subsequent runs of this model, that will be moved further to the north. Okay, that's what I expect tomorrow. And what will happen is this will go through Oklahoma and back over towards Missouri before it heads on off towards the east. So I think we're going to ignore this, but it is a part of our forecast. So we do expect clouds to be on the increase next Monday, maybe a slight chance, but we're not going to go any more than a 10 to 20% coverage. So tonight, we'll put this into motion. Very mild night, above normal temperatures. We expect lows only in the mid to upper 60s to around 70 degrees. And look at that. Look at the low clouds and fog across the area. Could be an interesting drive tomorrow morning, hopefully not. And then as we head towards, say, late morning, we'll start peeling away those clouds, and then we should become partly cloudy during the afternoon. We expect highs in the low to mid 80s across southeast Texas, and no rainfall. On the Gulf, slightly choppy seas are expected tomorrow around 2 feet. There'll be areas of fog and a southeast wind at 10 knots. Water temperature back up to 74 degrees. Our forecast for tonight, partly cloudy skies are expected. Patchy fog across southeast Texas, and we expect low temperatures to be into the mid to upper 60s. Outlying areas from the cities will be naturally cooler. Jasper and Woodville, 67, 68. Same thing with Beaumont. Get away from the big cities, Vidor, and away from Beaumont, China. Fannett will be cooler naturally. Also, as you can see, mid-county will be warmer than outlying areas like Fannett and also LaBelle. And Bridge City will be cooler because of the concrete and urban heat island effect. So we'll go with lows in the mid to upper 60s to around 70 degrees tomorrow morning. Otherwise, tomorrow should see highs rebounding into the low to mid 80s. We expect the skies to gradually become partly cloudy with a breezy south to southeasterly wind. Now, as we take a look at the Weather Impact 7-day forecast, Tuesday and Wednesday, I don't expect any rainfall. Now, there could be some sprinkles with the fog tomorrow morning and also Wednesday morning. But Wednesday morning is probably going to be, I won't say pea soup, but pea soup kind of morning. And that means very thick fog is possible Wednesday morning. Look at those highs, well above normal. Then Thursday, you saw that disturbance coming in. We'll go with just a 20% coverage as it begins to weaken across southeast Texas, or really central Texas, as it runs into the ridge over to our east. So maybe partly sunny skies. Friday, partly sunny. Here in the Triangle, we'll just go with a 30% coverage. But Tyler County and towards the lakes area may see a little better chances, maybe a 40 to 50% coverage. Now, I don't expect heavy rainfall out of this, so we'll go with highs around 82. Then the front comes through. This is not an Arctic front. This is not a strong front like what we just saw several days ago. So the front comes through early Saturday morning. We'll see lows in the 50s. Sunday morning will be the coldest and highs into the mid-70s. Should be great to get outside and wash that dirty car, take the dog on a walk, watch your kids play soccer in the backyard, do some gardening. It's going to be a good weekend to do that. Do some fishing. And then as we head into Monday of next week, we expect skies to start increasing in cloud cover late in the day. We may see some sun next Monday, and we'll go, this may be a stretch, at 10 to 20% coverage next Monday. That system's going to be all the way into West Texas late day Monday, so we may not get that. This may be a little exuberance from my part, but it ain't going to be any more than a 20% coverage. I just said ain't. But anyway, we expect skies to be on the increase, cloud cover on the increase coming up on Monday.